So we're joined by Ryder Corrigan today, local footy player, fresh off his Nationals game with the Allies. We're just reminiscing that it's pretty much 4 years to the day, we reckon, that we've been working together.
Yeah, pretty close.
Do you want to give everyone a little update on where footy's at the moment between Bushies and your Allies Nationals campaign?
Yeah, so at the moment I'm just playing Bushies and the National Champs just started. Fortunate enough to play for the Allies and just played our first game. Unfortunately, close loss, but there's still 3 more games to go and looking forward to it.
It's a pretty stacked Allies team, so you're finding yourself a bit of half forward mid role. Yep. How are you finding that?
Yeah, well, it's good. I've played a lot of mid this year, so playing 2 positions, just you got to be versatile in the game. So it's been good. It's a good mix. I played a bit of half forward last year, so I enjoy it.
And as I said, it's a pretty stacked squad with some of the academy boys, as well as obviously Tassie and NT. You've got some talented guys. How do you find it all when you come together, if you think of footy perspective as well as all their athletic traits? What do you sort of notice as the common trends?
With our group, we did a few trainings and it was so quick. The standard goes up again from Coates, Talent League footy, and probably the biggest difference is everyone's just mature. They're big bodies, defined, strong, fast. So, there's not much to hide. So it was a really good standard.
And if they're pretty light frame, they're probably 202 centimetres.
Yeah. But even that, our ruckman was 202 centimetres tall and squats 200 kilos. So.
Yeah. Which I think is just a nice lesson of where that standard is. So we think of local footy, junior footy into third seniors, obviously Bushies, Coates League, and then we're talking Nationals again where everyone is big, fast.
Yeah.
All their footy's good. Like you said, you've got to be versatile. You've got to be able to play forward, mid, potentially back.
Yep.
You're saying there's a couple of key guys that probably play a bit of ruck forward, that are now key backs, just because of obviously where the talent is stacked for you guys. So it's a nice lesson around being versatile. If we take a look at our journey quickly, and I was going through some data where almost 4 years ago, where young Ryder was jumping 26 centimetres, he was sort of topping out at about 50 watts per kilo, which isn't actually too bad at that age, but probably not the best jump height. And when one of the metrics we look at around athleticism is height divided by time it takes to jump, and that equated to about a 0.4, whereas about a month ago you all-time PB'd your jump at 54 centimetres. You tipped the power at 75, which for those who have no clue what that means, that's an elite level AFL midfielder. Yeah, so they're sort of 75 is top end of power for a jump for a mid. And your MRSI, which is off the charts, is 0.98, so nearly 1, which when we look at your drop jump as well, so you PB'd that yesterday, 407, which was up from 1.95 from a few years ago. That was only 2 years ago. Jumping 37 centimetres on the ground, only 0.14 seconds, so crazy. I did a bit of digging into other sports, so even like NFL, basketball, they would all be really proud of those numbers. So that's like high level. Yeah. It's actually levels similar to what some sprinters would have. So it's impressive from a athletic and really reactive strength standpoint. How hard has it been to improve those? What's it taken?
It takes a lot of resilience and persistence. We've been doing, I can't describe how many sessions we've done.
It's a few.
Our journey started 4 years ago and we were doing one-on-one stuff in your shed, and it's been a journey of just grinding and just keep rocking up, and that's all you can really do. It takes time, and you don't see changes over a short period of time. They're over a long period of time, and it's good to finally see some reward for effort.
Yep. How have you found your footy? Because obviously you were even when you started, you were a dominant. I think you won the league medal 14s.
Yeah.
Yep. So you always had the footy attributes. How have you found as the footy's gone up, you've been able to adapt based on not just your athletic traits, and we didn't touch on your speed, but how much that's come along, but even just your strength and some muscle as well?
Every standard that I've gone up, it just gets quicker, and the bodies just keep getting bigger. So for my game, I want to be a fast, explosive mid, and without the gym, I don't if I didn't do it, I don't know where I'd be with my football personally, because now it's probably one of my weapons. Power and speed, so I don't know, it's just everything's really fast, everyone's really big, even Ovens and Murray senior football, it's massive bodies, and I didn't improve on some of my physical traits, well then I think I'd certainly be struggling.
Yep. You do a lot right in and around your training, like consistency, even with your recovery and how well you look after your body. And I don't know, your diet hasn't always been perfect, but you do work really hard on that, and your family's really supportive, which is great. So you do a lot better than most, absolutely. As a result, not too many injuries. So you've been able to bank a lot of work, which I think's testament to your results and on the field and off the field, because of you can do a lot, probably a lot more than most think is possible, but off the back of looking after yourself. But what has been the biggest challenge?
I think it's just when you're sore or you're tired, a lot of people they resort back to, I won't come to the gym today. But we've had a few years where I was nearly gymming every day, so that was before training and after training, and I think it just prepares your muscles for what they're going to go through on game day and training loads and stuff like that. So I think I've just maintained really. I've been pretty fortunate not to get any injuries really. I've had pretty much near zero. So no, it's just keep rocking up and keep getting stronger and maintaining your strength and making sure your running mechanics and stuff is still to the correct technique. And I reckon it's just when you're sore or you're tired, just keep coming back to here, even if it just means you don't lift as heavy one day, but just making sure your muscles are just always recovering, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I like the rule of thirds, where a third of your workouts you'll feel great, a third you'll feel average, a third should feel pretty average, crappy. So it's a matter of what you do in those average to crappy sessions, because that's essentially 2/3 of your training. So which you've been able to do really well and show up and adjust when we needed. And I think that's where consistency, like when your knee tendon stuff, when you're growing, got a bit grumbly, that's sort of come on and off a little bit. Because you're so consistent, it's easy to adapt that versus, if we don't see kids for 2 weeks and then it's like, well, how you going? And then we're trying to catch up. Yep. So that's where being consistent is really important. So if we touch on the knee tendon stuff, if you think back to when they were sore, what did you find really helped get you through those periods? Because it was a lot of the time in busy footy, congested schedules, you're playing a lot of footy still. How'd you find that you managed those?
Yeah, well, because I was growing and stuff, my knees started getting a bit sore, but I couldn't really stop doing the gym. So it was like kind of what we had to do differently to strengthen them. So it was just doing exercises before and after gym sessions 2 or 3 times a week over a long period of time, and it didn't go away for it would be bad one week and it'd get a little bit better, but it was still kind of that niggling injury. But it probably just took a lot of time just to keep doing those exercises that we were doing to try and strengthen them, and no knee tendon pain anymore.
How important has been the speed sessions on top of, so obviously we touched on gym, but how important do you think is getting out and sprinting and working on your actual sprint technique and actually putting that into practice when you sprint?
Yeah, well, for me it's kind of like, if you want to get stronger, you go to the gym. So if you want to get faster, you go and do speed. So I've been doing speed for a few years now, and we've seen some pretty good results. We did 7.8 metres a second when we started, and we got over 10, which is a good achievement, but I wasn't naturally a very good athlete and didn't run very good. So to go to speed and just alter a few things and work on some running technique and doing that over and over again, I've certainly seen some results in my running, and I think that's probably, if we go back to the injuries, probably why I haven't received any soft tissue injuries, because hopefully my running is at a standard where it's maintainable.
I think you're often the example with a couple others around what robust technique really looks like. Not only are you fast and it looks really powerful, but it looks almost effortless at times given how fast you're moving. So I think that's what it's all about. And that's off the back of, I would say, you're almost too hard a trainer at times. Like, you're not someone I normally have to push. And I think that's the lesson there for a lot of young athletes who even don't, at their footy training, run hard enough, therefore never actually sprint. And you're one that probably would still sprint at footy training. But you can see how much benefit even the extra speed stuff does. I think that's important for people.
A lot of people don't focus on it, so they just, people
roll through the warm-ups.
People resort back to, I'm just naturally fast, or I'm not. So for me, that's been the complete opposite. I wasn't very fast, but I'd say I'm okay speed. I'm still working on it, but definitely big improvement from when I started.
So good luck with the rest of your Nationals games, mate, and obviously rest of the bushy season. You've played every game as a bottom major. Hopefully, touch wood, get through unscathed, no injuries, and get to play every game as a top major too, which is no mean feat. That's pretty rare. So nice work, mate.
Appreciate it.
Keep going.
Thank you.